Hello, this is Scarecrow, and this is a brief tutorial on how I made the music for the Longsword video. If you haven't watched it, I will link it in the description, and I suggest you go and watch it. And yes, as you can see, I am using Ableton. I just feel like it's easier to use, or it's easy to use. But whatever works for you, it's all preference. I will go into some detail on how I made this and show a little bit of how it was made, and hopefully you will find it enjoyable. So let's dive in. These are the electric guitars, and this is the first riff that I actually came up with for this song. Yeah, I like to keep things pretty simple. I am not a fantastic guitar player, but I know like a thing or two. I use the Fortine Suite amp simulator and Ola Englund's secret sauce presets. I feel like it works really well for what it is. And I do have a guitar amplifier, but I rarely use it because I feel like it's so much trouble to mic everything up and everything. This was about $100 or 100 euros. It depends on where you come from. Yeah, I feel like it works really well for what it is. So yeah, and this is the second riff I came up with. Yeah, and I felt like it could have used some more build-up, so I came up with this. As you can hear, there's this other guitar playing it higher up, and I feel like it really gets this small explosion, or whatever you want to call it, when it suddenly like goes down into the lower octave. Again, a very simple riff, but it works. Some bass, nothing too special. I just took my 4-string bass and tune it down to drop C, and I am using this free JK amplification plugin. It's free, so it's a little muddy, but it's definitely better than the raw tone into the sound card or audio interface. After I had done these, I felt like there could have been a bit more of a step up. I didn't want the song just to explode and then start. So I came up with this idea of having these guitars pan differently and take out quite a bit of the low end. And like chop it up so it sounds a bit technical and stuff. And then I put this higher riff on top of it. To make it kind of to create this kind of like spooky feeling to it. Drums, I do have well, obviously I don't have real drums or an electrical kit, unfortunately, and even if I did, I really suck at drums, so I'm using MIDI drums. Please don't kill me. I would like to use real drummers and real drum kits, but you know, I live in a small apartment and everything. I am actually using dubstep drums for these ones because I feel like they hit a little bit harder than usual drums, and then it's in my opinion, it kind of excuses like the artificial sound to them, and it creates this it creates this very like strict and very like choppy rhythm to it. So I put some hi-hats in the beginning. So all in all, it was something like this. So yeah, I had that, and after that I felt like it could have been a little more mythical, and it could have sounded a bit more like from some fantasy world or something. So I made these drums. So it's basically just loads of different drums from different cultures layered up together, and there's this metal barrel being hit, and just a lot of reverb and delay. But the thing that really sells it, I think, is this steel hammer that makes it sort of pop. Like that, and to make it sound even more like mythical, I recorded these voices, or like this war chant, like, so as you can see, these are all of my voices, and they are pitch shifted around, and purposefully put a little of time because to make it sound like there's more people, and that they don't all sound like me, and together they sound like kind of like that. So so it creates this kind of like war chanty feeling to it. Gonna delete that. So yeah, altogether the intro kind of has like this punchy but still like a little build up to it. So. What you can hear here is this sort of like Hans Zimmer type of Baum. No, I am not tired of it yet. But basically what it is just loads of different instruments from a classical orchestra, like horns and trombones and double bass, and I put a little bit of distortion on them to make them pop a little bit more and make it sound a little bit more punchy. I also have this sort of I don't know what to call it, horn from that I made in Serum, that sort of creates just a little bit of motion in the whole thing. But still, I didn't want this to sound like too cinematic, so I took this Viking horn and tuned it to the right pitch, and I put 2 of them. So there's a little bit of punch to it, and altogether it sounds like. And as I said, if I wanted to make it like even more punchy, I would just put more instruments and more distortion and everything. But in this scenario, I just wanted it to have this sort of undertone to it, and to make it a little bit more dramatic, but also a little bit more cheesy. So and there are also these choirs in here. Very synthy sounding, but It works. It works. I tried out loads of different choirs, and these, in my opinion, sounded the best. So yeah. After this, we have the some strings. Nothing special. Just a free plugin. This one. And here you can choose like a lot of different instruments, and you can choose if it's staccato or sustain, and yeah. For what it is, it's a great plugin, and it's for free. So I can recommend it, unless you unless you want more realistic sounding strings, which that's gonna cost some money. But I don't have infinite money for so for what it is, it really works. So there's a staccato like main first violinist, doubling up the guitar, and there's violas. Yeah, I know they can't play in time. And cellos. Doubling up the guitar, as I said. So it's... and there's also this this horn that I tried to create this sort of like battlefield sounding horn. Not perfect, but it does the job. Yeah, and once again, it's this same plugin. Yeah, and also I have some reversed crashes to make the build up. Like that. So whenever there's like... for this section, I wanted it to not be like super dramatic all the way, because in this tournament there were moments of triumph as well, and I wanted to emphasize that. So yeah, this is basically just a series of guitar chords, and me hammering on the 6th string. And because it went to into a major chord progression, the melody also needed to go into a major. So you can basically hear that it's the same riff, but just in a major key. Yeah, and then we have this last section. Once again, I wanted it to have this sort of major kind of moment of triumph feeling to it, and yeah, it's a very simple riff once again, but I feel like it works. So yeah, I hope you liked this tutorial, and please subscribe, and if you want to see more videos like this, let me know, and have a nice day.